here. Are you, do you have anything further, Virginia?
No,
okay.
Thank you very much.
Agricultural Commission.
Hey, you didn't ask me if I was done.
Oh, that's right. You interrupted. Yeah. I'm sorry. We'll back up, retract. Assessor Clerk.
Okay, thank you.
Apparently she's not done.
I just wanted to check with you regarding that preservation, a discretionary preservation easement.
The barn?
The barn. Are you making an appointment with Mr. St. Pierre to review his barn?
I had emailed you about that, but I guess you didn't open it.
I would say no. I haven't seen that email yet.
Okay.
This email?
I will go home and read it tonight.
Oh, that email right there?
So no, we are not ready to act on that at this
Okay.
point. So let me go home, read my emails, and
Not a plot.
we will move forward with it quickly from there.
Okay, I'm just making sure. And then my last thing, this is really quick because it was all last time. On that property that has 188 acres, we were talking about talking to the lawyer possibly.
Yep.
I didn't know if you had an appointment with the lawyer in the
Tomorrow.
future. If you wanted to show her this
Yep.
packet, okay?
Yep.
All right, so
So
we'll do that. I don't want to miss that opportunity.
cool.
And that's it, I'm done.
Are you
Thank
sure?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Thank you.
Okay. Agricultural Commission. Did they have a meeting this month?
I think they had one last night.
No,
Isn't it the first Monday of the month?
unless they came after IDOC, which was after 8.
They've been having trouble getting
Yeah,
a quorum
people to come in.
to have a meeting.
Okay. Who's our contact there? Is it you in the ag?
Rich.
I don't believe it's me.
Rich,
It's Rick Surratt's the chairman.
No, who's the selectman's rep?
oh,
Be careful.
Rich.
you.
I am?
Yeah. Selectman's rep.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't remember that.
Rose
You
did.
sent us all that spreadsheet.
Would you please send us that? Yes.
Okay, I'll put that
Whenever,
on my list to do.
whenever there's a change, it'd be good to update it.
Huh? Oh, I do.
And then
But I
send
don't
it
know if I
out.
send it to you guys. I might have. I don't remember, but.
It's one
Okay.
of them nights. Can you get with Rick and
Yeah,
say what
because
we're-
I did a whole,
Yes.
Sit in
Okay.
the boring.
All right. Cable Commission.
Nothing?
nothing on that, right?
No cemetery trustees.
He's your person, kid.
Don't. Oh, are you asking me?
No.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, okay, you know that one.
I'm known cable
Should be.
commission. I knew that.
Code Enforcement Officer.
All's quiet.
Road Agent.
Um,
You've been busy because we signed a bill for you.
Yeah, been real busy. Haven't you noticed? You've been driving around? He lives on State Road. Yeah, he lives on State Road.
Which needs a lot of work right now.
Half the town, the grading in the town has been done. Basically, the south end added gravel to a lot of the roads. We've also cleaned the left side of the fire building, took all that dirt away from the building, got it draining really nice, dressed it up over there with some wood chips that we got off the trimming crew. Now we're working out back, we're working on the right side and getting all that dirt away from the building and having that drain out. And as you know, we've moved a can cage behind the fence, made a nice place for that. And
You got to drive around now.
yeah, but it's a drive up. You don't,
Neither could
if you're
my
good,
husband.
you don't have to get out of your
Feel
vehicle.
bad.
Yeah, you just drive. Depending on which way you drive up, you can loop it over your car, or you can roll down your window and shoot it like a basketball.
I don't think so.
You can drive right up nice and close. And did a little coal patching, trying to keep ahead of that on Stoneham Road. And actually fixed Camp Road, not Camp Road, but the Class 5 to summer camps.
Right, up to Camp Road.
Up to Camp Road, we worked on that. Yeah. Making great progress.
Good. Any questions for the road agent right now?
we did put out some dust control as we finished the road. You know, finished grading and
Yeah.
added gravel, we dusted them.
Dedusted them?
De-dusted them.
You dusted them. Made them smell like hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dogs.
Conservation Commission.
Want to report about the event that we had, was it last Sunday or Sunday before? Or Colonel Hackett, and we all attended. And it's more goes under you than the Conservation Commission, I realize, so I won't steal your thunder.
Yeah.
But I know it was discussed at the Conservation Commission, so I just,
Well, that's coming. Heritage Commission's coming.
all right,
So anything else from the Conservation Commission?
no.
Bradley, Emergency Management Director.
Oh, you mean Brad Ford?
Bradford, not Bradley.
Bradford. Bradley, Bradford, Brad. He's got me, you know,
He's got you
he threw me all out of whack tonight when it's not ready. Yes, sir.
Other than the hazard mitigation plan is progressing, it is scheduled for tomorrow's Governor and Council meeting for approval, the funding for it. And so we're anticipating that to happen. Tomorrow morning, Ron Lass will be coming to change the piping in the back room and take care of that for us. Yes, sir.
We need to make a correction because we approved him, he is doing what? Because we approved a smaller project, but I think you've gotten him to do more for a little bit more?
Yes.
Okay.
He originally gave me a quote to remove just the excess piping, which
We went for as a board.
we then renegotiated after I picked myself up off the floor. And I asked him about moving the line up, not moving the regulator from where it sits, leaving that be, just extending the pipe up to the ceiling and coming through. And we renegotiated that. Right now it comes in the middle of the wall cliff and then travels up. We want to travel up the outside of the building. then
And through
penetrate
the
wall.
top.
So he gave me a revised figure of $200 to do the entire project. I told him I'd meet him here at 7 o'clock and I could give him an hour, at which point he said, well, the bill will be less if you help. So I'll be helping from an hour tomorrow morning until I have to go to my real job. So it will be something less than $200 to rectify all the piping, which I thought was a good deal. If you don't like it, I can tell him no tomorrow.
And Eastern quoted a lot more.
Yes.
It's a good deal.
Well, with a code enforcement officer not more than 10 feet from you,
Yes.
he does have a gas fitter's license, right?
Yes. So he says. I didn't ask for proof of it.
I never said I had a gas fitter's
Huh?
I never said I had a gas fitter's license.
No, not you.
Oh, what
The
do you
gentleman
say?
that's gonna do the work on the
Oh,
gas
well,
pipe.
I would assume he does. I would assume he'd have to provide that before he starts the work.
So,
I'll ask him to show me his license in the morning.
because you know, as a town, I don't wanna get in trouble for having somebody who's not licensed to do gas fitting. And I think that's a state law now.
It says on the side of his truck he is.
Okay. So,
I feel comfortable with it.
okay. I have no problem with it, with moving forward with that if the other two selectmen don't.
Well, let's do it.
Get her done.
Does Forest Ward have a position on the agenda?
Yeah,
Okay,
at the end.
that's fine. I'll wait.
All right.
I can make more comments though.
Is the emergency management director done?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look, forest fire warden.
Yes, I know emergency management. It's next to the end. Unfortunately, we've had some rain in the last few days, which has helped us out a lot. We had a long string of dry weather, class 4 days, very high. We had 9 red flag days, which are extremely dangerous. So we're doing well with that. I'm happy to say that we have a newly appointed deputy warden in town, our one and only Mr. Richard Thacker. So
Just another hat to wear.
Yes, we'll be getting one of those too.
Good.
He too can now issue fire permits as well as warnings, so he can tell you yes and can also tell you when you did not.
Is it
Does that mean
true?
I can get my campfire permit now? Since we've had all this wonderful rain?
Right next door.
You've always been able to get a campfire permit.
Well, I thought you weren't issuing them during the dry period.
Campfire permits we will issue. You still do it, you just can't use it.
Here, let me tease you with this.
Campfire permits are valid for class 3 in the lower days.
Right, I understand the rules. I thought that you weren't issuing them while they were,
Not issuing burn permits
Burn
for brush
permits.
burns, that's correct. No burning above
Wasn't
class
it?
3 day.
brush pile a campfire if you're roasting marshmallows
It
over it?
depends.
How big is it? Is it 2 foot, 4 foot, or greater than 4 foot?
Well, I can fit it all in a 2 foot by 2 foot section.
That's fine.
It might be 10 feet high.
If you can keep control of it, that's fine.
All right.
I just one question. Are you keeping with the tradition of the new warden, deputy warden wearing a Smokey Bear outfit and standing out in front of the town hall?
Yes.
On Saturdays? Okay.
Yes.
You missed it? You missed it?
We'll have you back for all one day.
Okay.
That's all, sir, thank you.
All right, thank you. Heritage Commission.
So, I'll go to the Colonel.
Sorry.
James Hackett reception first. We had, you know what, we had a really nice day and I thought a very nice turnout. We had over 40 people attend the reception at the gravesite. It was so windy, there were no bugs. It was nice of Bill Nelson to read the proclamation from the governor. And there was a historic interpreter there as Governor John Langdon, and came back and everybody drank every drop of coffee I made. It was so cold. And you know, it was just a nice event. We had lots of good food. They talked about doing it annually. I thought, okay, sure. So
Did you
we'll
put your
see.
donation bucket out?
No, the Heritage Commission just did. I didn't know some baking. So I was loading the car, Lance kept saying, you baked all this food, you baked all this food, you baked all this food.
How come it's not staying, some of it's not staying at home?
And then it was, oh, this is great. Well, think of the leftovers we'll have on the way home. There was like one small plate of a few things. That's all that's left yet.
Was that taped privately or is that a public tape?
GovernmentOversite.com.
It's actually, the whole ceremony is
Yeah.
finished. I'm just waiting for it to be reviewed. It came out really good. You're gonna like it.
But it'll be up on your website.
Well, that's with permission from the Heritage Commission, what they're gonna do with the disc. I don't know if they're gonna try to use it to.
Oh, we also talked about possibly selling copies of it. So I'll keep you posted on.
Oh, that might be a different thing. Cool.
So, and we talked about maybe putting it up on the, we'll have to talk it and see what the stuff is, whether we could put it up on the website, town website.
You'd have to get releases
You know,
from all
from our 40
parties.
people?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you have to do that to sell it too.
If it's not, if it's a public event.
Public event, yeah.
You ever watch the show Funniest Home Videos?
Nope,
America's Funniest Home Videos?
kind of goes on with websites.
Those aren't public events.
Some of the stuff that happens at a public event. And every person in that video has to have a release in order to show it on TV. So I don't know, you'd have to check in with that and make
I will.
sure that we don't violate anybody's privacy or anything like that.
Sure. So it was a lovely day. I also, as you may remember, at the town meeting, Ron Fountain requested that the critical needs assessment for the townhouse be placed on the website. So I was finally able to get a PDF of the booklet made, and I gave the disc to Rose tonight, and she will get it to the website.
Who's holding it up proudly?
There you go. So, and then once it's done, I'll send an email to Ron Fountain and let him know that it is up there.
Good.
So, and then we have a meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here.
Good, I didn't miss it.
Wednesday night.
And that was on the Royals property? Is that where that?
Actually, no, because the Royals property ends when we came in that way through, whatchamacallit? Cottle Hill Road. You come around and the farmhouse belongs to Norman Royal, but then you go through like a little stone
Yes.
wall. Once you hit the stone wall, his property ends, and I'm not sure.
Belknap, I think it's the Belknap.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it's Belknap property that the,
It's Hunter's, right?
Marsha
Marsha Hunter's.
is actually on at this point.
Because if you go the other road, the old road,
The old
that's
road.
through her property.
We did find out, one of the things that the Heritage Commission has talked about doing is having the site surveys, and between Norman and Ron Pryor, who owns a Hackett house, they actually think that maybe Norman has a cellar hole that was an old barn, and they found some descriptions of Colonel Hackett's barn, and they feel that it could be the one that was on Norman's property. So we're gonna try and dig into that a week or two.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. Joint loss management.
We had the meeting tonight. The question that was raised is we're supposed to send a form to the state every 2 years. We don't know if we sent one this year or not.
I don't have it form any longer, I turned it into the town.
Okay, well, the question is did we do that form last year?
No, it needed to be submitted before January 1st of this year.
So
I submitted it 2 years ago, so it needed to be resubmitted.
So we'll do it late. That's better than not at all, I guess.
Yes, because you'll get a nasty letter if you don't.
And a fine.
All right. So we'll give them a letter.
Okay, do we have the blank form?
That's on the way, I think.
Yeah, I found it. Department of Labor has the form
Yeah,
for that. Or you could just do it right online, too.
however, I had one filled out that should be on somebody's computer.
It should be filed. There should be a copy of it
Yeah.
filed, and then it should be on, I think Jennifer helped you with that?
I think I sent it to Jennifer.
So it
Yeah,
might be on-
that one.
The selectman's computer.
Okay.
If not, I probably still have a copy of it on my computer at home.
Okay. We'll get the form in then.
Okay. Next meeting?
Thank you. Next
August
meeting?
14th. It should be at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Planning board meets next Monday, but does anybody from the planning board have anything for the meeting tonight? Hearing nothing. Any other committees, commissions, or groups that want to speak up to the select board at this point? Hearing none. Any old business that needs to be attended to? We do have a meeting with our town attorney tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Has that meeting been warned?
It does not have to be. It is a private meeting between the select board and the attorney. Nothing will be discussed other than that one issue. I covered this with her too.
And if a decision is made,
No.
what I'm guessing is, I'm wondering if we should not adjourn, when you end the meeting and take it over the next day. In case we had to make a decision, we can take it out of.
Nope. Does not have to be. I covered that with her because I was going to post it, and she said I do not have to post it.
Given that she's going to be charged for this, do we want to have a non-public session to talk about what we're trying to accomplish and any list of questions that we might want to ask her?
This is all non-public.
I mean, tonight, after this is over, so we're together when we meet with her.
I don't know if that, I'd have to look at the RSA and see if that qualifies.
Otherwise, we're on her time, and we're just going to be making questions up, or we're not together when we meet with her.
Let me look it up towards the end of the meeting, and we'll pull the RSAs up on non-public and see if it fits. Because the non-public RSA is very specific about what you can and cannot go into non-public for. Any other old business?
A while back, we had talked, when we had talked initially about moving the can cage, I suggested moving the drop box box out back there too. Is that something you want to consider doing? Because I made a nice gravel pad there. It'll be a nice place for people to drive up. They won't have to get out of their vehicles to put their, like a mail slot.
Well, the only problem with moving that back out there with books being in it, it's not protected from weather, and it can get rained on, and
So they're not designed to be out in the winter?
I don't know.
I think they are.
They're supposed to come paint it for us, though.
I know, but it was just school, just move it right out the front door, yeah.
So,
It doesn't get used very much anyway, I don't know if they're even gonna leave it here.
I've only seen a couple of people, and
But it
since they put
doesn't,
it in,
You know,
drop something in.
I check it every week at least.
Maybe there's a better place for it, in another town.
Well, I think the problem is, it is a library box, and the majority of people that use the library, they take books back when they get more books. So,
yeah.
you know,
Would it be appropriate to ask you to ask the library if they'd like it back or
they
relocate it?
discussed it, I've already discussed it with them.
Excellent.
They've been assessing, and Rose would know that too, because she volunteered that, don't you?
Yeah, but I've had.
Yeah, they've gone back and forth on it as to whether it should be left here or not.
Sounds like we'd be willing to give it up if they need it.
If they don't paint it, like they promised.
Does it get used?
Very rarely, she's saying. So at that point, if it's not being utilized, then I would suggest that, if it's not being utilized on a regular basis,
And it's very sporadic, and when it is utilized, I think it's the same person that brings a whole mess of stuff in. And I think I even know who the person is, but, there's
so,
a lot of video type things, but when it is used, it's not just random 1 or 2 books, usually there's a dozen or so things in it that are put in.
so do you want to follow up with them on that?
Sure.
And just verify whether or not that their intent is to keep it here? Or remove it? Are they gonna paint it or not? And then, once you brought that back to us, we will decide whether or not we're gonna move it to the pad or not. Move it out by the cans.
And the reason I'm asking is because I'm trying to clean it up real nice out there, and my goal is when I'm done, if you guys have no place to do a park, there'll be you could start putting stuff out there for kids.
Cool beans.
That's my goal.
You can play on your big pieces of equipment out there.
Yeah, it will be there.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just thought of something, 2 weeks ago, I got the mail out of a mailbox, and from the inside, there was this water all across the whole top, dripping
On the inside?
on the inside.
We'll have to look at that.
But we got condensation on how to get there, but because it's.
It wasn't that humid, it hasn't been that humid out.
But it was wet.
So, all right, we'll take a look at that.
I haven't noticed it since then, but I will pay more attention.
Okay.
I've got something else.
Any other?
Yep.
Yep.
Tomorrow's meeting
Yep.
is in person.
Yes.
Do we as a town own a speakerphone? Because we're gonna pay her time to travel, yes? Do we own a speakerphone where we can have meetings like this on a speakerphone?
So all of these phones are speakerphones.
Yep.
They are. Excellent.
Well, not that one over there,
No, but we can huddle in there if we wanted to and put that on speaker.
Didn't she have to be present, or what was the ground rule on that?
Oh, I don't have that with me right now. I'd have to look.
If we quoted her, she had to be present. We can't
We
quote her at a
quoted her.
meeting.
That's true.
That's right.
We can't quote her unless she's here or on a
That's right.
speakerphone.
Right. Well, we can't go into non-public to discuss her advice unless she's on the speakerphone or in person.
Yes.
I think the issue is important enough that I would just meet with her.
Okay.
Whether we decide to have certain questions ahead of time, that'd be one thing, but I think it's an important enough issue that if she spends an hour or 2 hours, it's money well spent.
Okay.
Personally, that's just my opinion.
And you don't need to be present at this one.
Okay.
So, I have the documentation that you gave me, and that's all we need from, at that point.
Can she come? if she's,
She doesn't need to be present.
okay.
In other words, he doesn't want me here.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Oh my goodness gracious, good God, Miss Molly.
Poor me.
I just figured you had better things to do on a Wednesday.
I'm taking care of a sick husband. Are you kidding me? Why do you think I'm staying here so late tonight? Oh, gosh.
Hope he doesn't watch.
We wish you well and hope you recover from your hiccups soon, Dick. Okay, any other old business? Any new business?
Just the bus system is running, I noticed from an email that they're now running the bus, Coast Bus is running 2 days here in Brookfield and Wakefield and Milton. It's Wednesday and Friday. So anybody that uses the service should contact Coast to make arrangements.
Okay. And we're gonna change the link to, on the website, right, to the proper link now that we know what it is through the comment section?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought, you know, Coast wanting to get our participation from our residents would have mailed us something at least. But I
They
guess.
mailed me just to tell me it was a change in hours.
Okay.
I know why me, I received something.
Actually, one of our comments on the website was, here's our new link, so.
Yeah, I mean, but I understand, you know, in the electronics age, saving a dime on postage and so forth. Okay, any other new business? I'll get to public.
One thing, whoever does the newsletter, they might put something in about the can case.
Good point.
Kind of hidden now.
We'll put that in the selectmen section. Good point.
Very hidden.
Well, it makes it harder for can thieves to come get cans out of it now.
Or easier.
Or easier, that's right. You're out of sight now. Go either way with that.
Is there such a person?
Are people taking cans out of
I
that?
don't think so.
Seriously?
I don't know, we've never set up a surveillance camera on it to watch.
Well, how much money? We were at the
Aluminum's
meeting.
quite a bit.
How much money was received?
Well,
At
if
the last-
somebody needs it that bad, they're gonna get in their cage.
$100 and some, I forget what it was the last time we dumped it.
$120?
That was our take,
Yeah, that's what we got. That's
because that's half. So you figure there was $300 in that cage.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's a lot of theft. I mean,
uh,
they stole Gadadero's dump truck,
yeah,
and I'm sure it went to junk.
Because it was junk, wasn't it?
Still weighed a lot.
That's true.
and the scrap business is booming, so, especially like copper and aluminum. Scrap, you know, actual scrap metal, I don't believe the prices are that great yet, but people are doing desperate things to get monies. So, any other new business, final business, last time for public comments? One last shot? Yes, Ed?
I just wanted to tell Rose, on the county website, our link is broken to the website, so,
That's very sad.
yeah, so that would be something to call them up about. And also tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., the Carroll County Commissioners meeting, 95 Water Village Road in Ossipee.
Okay. Hearing none further, we will do the mail and answer the question about the RSA house.
Rose, I suggest you send them a comment.
You still got that?
Yeah. See how they respond.
No, I didn't get one. I saw it in lag.